Welcome back. If you have heard about this controversy, you're not alone. It's an interesting one. The idea that maybe flossing isn't as good for you as first thought. This has come out in the health world in the last couple of weeks. We have Dr. Preeti Desai here to weigh in on it with us. I'm sure there's lots of people out there, Dr. Desai, who are like, hallelujah, I don't need to floss anymore.
I actually got an email from a patient of mine who's been in my practice for 15 years. He goes, see, you were wrong after all these years. It was hilarious.
So what is the situation? Where did the study come from?
Well, the study was generated by a journalist at the Associated Press, and he had a kid who he was taking to the orthodontist, as we all take our children there. And the orthodontic specialty, it's difficult to floss around braces, so they've developed devices to have little picks and brushes that go in between teeth, which do an excellent job. So when one has a little bit of a bias, you go into the literature and you pull out old science, and this is where it's from. These studies that he pulled out are from like the 50s. 60s. You know, you don't apply today's scientific principles to, like, you know, almost over a half a century ago. Right?
So that's where it came from.
That's
the journalist
exactly where it
pulled
came.
old studies from before a lot of us were born,
Yes.
and said this
Yes.
is what they used to say, that it's not necessary.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, for example, it's like comparing a landline to today's mobile phone. If you want to measure how fast your app is downloading, how can you apply that to a landline? It's not possible, and that's how the principle of flossing is not applicable.
Right.
You just can't evaluate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, if you do want to have healthy teeth for your whole life, flossing is still a part of the plan then.
It is.
We're back on the flossing train, people.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
But I have alternatives to flossing, because the whole idea of where flossing was designed is that it gets food out from in between the teeth. And there's lots of other devices to do that. Some people have arthritis in their hands. They're not as able to manipulate a little piece of string. And I've got some devices here to show people that it doesn't matter what you use to clean food out from in between your teeth, because that's where gum disease starts.
Okay,
Right?
all right.
That's where your hygienist cleans all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, my kids were at the dentist this morning, of all things.
Oh, ironic.
And they came out and said, your son needs to floss more. And I thought to myself, yes, he actually does. So we're going to have a flossing party this weekend, and I want to make sure he knows what he's doing.
Shall I give you some tips?
Yes, please. Let's do that.
I don't know if we can focus in on this.
Oh, I think we can.
But definitely we are able to, obviously this is our traditional floss, and you do need a little bit of a skill set to kind of, you know, put it in the back of your mouth here and wrap things around, which is the way we're supposed to do it. But for example, if you aren't able to do that, you can take this little brush and literally go in between your teeth. And this is what the children use when they have braces. You know, it's just fantastic. It gets everything out super fast. You can put it in your coat pocket. You can put it in your purse. Easy peasy.
It can be shocking what comes out, too.
It's
shocking.
kind of scary.
It's scary, but that's the reinforcement to keep going, because what's coming out, that's the stuff that is sitting in your teeth rotting if you don't take it out.
Exactly. And there's these little rubber doodads, which we call picks as well, and they fit into the front teeth as well. So if you seriously don't like this little piece of string that goes in between the teeth, no problem. There are alternatives to it.
Do you find that people prefer that do use picks over floss?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, flossing is technically difficult. And it takes a skill set to develop how to use it. It's like driving. It takes years to develop how to drive properly, right? And with safety. Anyone can get behind the wheel and do that. So you can stick a piece of floss in between your teeth and do fine. But to do a good job, you know, it's difficult. So if you are going to find it difficult, do something easy.
That works.
That works, and that you do it every day and you don't find it difficult. I have tons of patients that use that going, Preeti, I don't floss, but I do this, and it's in my coat pocket. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Right. Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about? We have some happy pictures of people looking like they really enjoy flossing. So why don't you show
Flossing
those,
is fun. I've never seen flossing go viral like this.
I know, right? I don't think many of us have. So yeah, it's important. Those ones are good again for kids as an option.
Kids. Awesome, because they can do it themselves.
And that's the key here, is getting them used to it, and then as they get older and more nimble,
they can do this.
They can do this. Wait for the one with the happy lady. Come on. See, look, she loves flossing.
She loves it.
She's like, wow, I can't wait until tomorrow to floss again. Woohoo! Anyway, some great points made today. Again, lots of options for flossing. You don't have to get the string out if you don't want to, but no matter what, make sure you are doing some form of flossing. That's the key.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Desai, thank you for being
Pleasure.
here today. Information on the screen. If you have any questions for Dr. Preeti Desai, you can also give her a phone call at the number on the screen. We are back after a quick break. Stay with us.